Alright, so it is the Japanese player's turn. And the first thing he has to do is figure out what he's going to do with this first operations phase. Or with those two phases. And I'm not looking to fight right now. I mean, I guess I could attack. But um, I think I'm just going to pick move, or either move, fight. We'll do a move, fight for the Japanese player. And on his first movement, on his first phase, he won't move. He can move all summer, none of your forces. I'll choose to move none. And we will move on to the Japanese reinforcement phase. Now, in this phase here, we get these two units. But we got to figure out what to do with them. So let's grab the white dice for Japanese player. And from well, I was gonna say from 1 to 3, I'd have him come over up around here, and 3 to 6, have him do this strategy here. Now the thing of it is, I think they are more aggressive. So we'll say from 1 to 4, they come in up here. 4 to 6 down here. All right. Well, the Japanese are coming in down here somewhere. Now, the thing of it is, I think if they were going to come in down here, the best spot, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 6 spots, but they wouldn't come in down that way, so that's just, we'll blow that out. But I believe their landing spot's going to be here. Now, I don't know if there's an arrow there even. That might not be a... Oh, yeah, there is. Okay. So I'm believing that I'm going to deploy him on one of these hexes. I think you deploy him on this one or on a blue hex. We'll get it figured out. We'll look at the rules. And then I will take this unit here. You see the number 1 up there in the corner? For 1 reinforcement, he'll go down to my available support units. And I do have some garrison units for a Japanese player after he takes something over. You can insert those guys for little garrisons and then move on. And you got your blue representing the Chinese artillery. Artillery. So let me look on the reinforcement procedure for a Japanese player. There will be an assault that comes in, and I have to see if I'm able to apply some of my support assets. We're back. Alright then. We have hit the reinforcement phase of the first turn for Japanese player. And I like this little important tip here. It says Japanese reinforcements make this special amphibious attack no matter what option chosen by the Japanese player during their first operations phase. So I picked a move for my first operations, and this, whenever we bring on reinforcements this way, they come in by sea. Alright, let's move this on out here and see how we're going to do this. You can zoom in here. You can see the 9th Japanese Naval Infantry, if I got that right. Just going to go ahead and make a landing down there at old, where's my, excuse me, my pointers when I need them. Alright. The city of Shanghai will be the first invasion spot. I moved my only marker. Now I got 3 of those, but you're only allowed to put on one type of 1 unit of each type. If I had an artillery, I could have placed an artillery. And I also have what's called, go back here in the rules. You can see down there that little amphibious ship there. There we go. Right there. Oops. The heck? Oh. That little amphibious ship there. Well, they got those made to support an amphibious landing, but we don't have them yet, and ours don't arrive till turn 2. So that's the only asset we got. Another thing is, on all amphibious landings, the attacking unit attacks at half its strength. So we got a 1-to-1 going on there because the garrison's 1. Terrain effects for the rice paddies is no effect, so I guess didn't affect them. Anyway, you're down here on a coastal area anyway, so we don't hit the rice paddies till later. So, but kind of does, kind of right. What else we got going on here? So 1-to-1 attack. Japanese player's gonna roll 1 dice, a good old white one, and it'll be a 1 column shift to the right. We're looking at a 2-to-1. And the old battle box, they get a 1. So we see we go down here. I don't think that's good for Japanese player. 2-step losses to 1. Alright, well I think that eliminates Japanese player. Now think of it as the Chinese player takes a step loss first, so that'll eliminate them. I got one step on this, so that takes him out. Oh, let me get back here in the rules, see if I can get this real quick. Hold on. Alright, well it says units conducting amphibious landing had their printed combat value halved. Landing have their combat value, it says. They may receive fire support, blah blah blah. Almost all amphibious landing combat, if any, remove the Chinese losses first, which we first did. If all Chinese forces have been eliminated, the Japanese player removes any attacker losses, which I'm gonna have to do. That's 2 steps that eliminates that unit. And surviving Japanese units advance to that hex. So I'm thinking we're doing something like this. There's nobody there. They eliminated them, but ain't no force really to be worth a hoot. Now, on Japanese losses, you roll the dice and put him on a turn track. So let me see how to do that. That's how he gets his replacements, reinforcements. Let me go double check that real quick, and we will be. All right, I'm not finding a note that I seen earlier. I'm gonna have to do more looking, but it is right here. It says. Where is that? Oh, right here. Eliminated Japanese regiments and battalions may not return to play. So we got us a little battalion here, just got eliminated. So he will not return to play. And I got my eliminated units up here. So that's where we're at on that. Total failed amphibious assault on that one by the Japanese. It also says here, let's see if I can zoom in again. As the first step of the reinforcement phase, Japanese player may flip any 2 reduced regiments back to full strength. Them are regiments. The one I suffered a loss on over there at Shanghai was a battalion. So I guess that doesn't apply. Reduced Japanese units have their LOC to an amphibious landing hex. What? So must have a line of communication, I guess, to an amphibious landing hex. Whew. Here's receiving replacements may be in a zone of control of the enemy. Replacement steps may not be accumulated. Alright. Now there is somewhere on here where I don't know if it's Chinese or Japanese, but when they're eliminated, you roll 1 die and put them on a track. I haven't found it yet. Oh, I hate that. When you see something you can't find it. So I'm gonna have to look around again, but we will move on to the what did I say was fight and move, or the Japanese player was gonna fight and then move. So I will say there's movement was our first one and then fight. So now, as the second operations phase for a Japanese player, I'm going to see if there's going to be any attacks. There might not be. I might just sit tight till we get some more people involved in this game. But I'm going to figure that out now. I got to look at that rule too about the reinforcements. We shall return. Alright, if it was a snake, it would have bit me. Chinese players who gets that goofy rule, or not goofy, but certain rule, does not receive replacements. However, each time a Chinese elite unit is eliminated, roll 1 die and replace it. They give you I'm sitting there thinking, where is that at? And the next thing I'm going, oh, it's right here. They give you a big old example. You can pause it and check it out if you want, but that's what you do with it, and that's only with eliminated elite units. So that is where I see that. Alright, we're going to go on now with, and look and see if I got any attacks going on. Support markers right now are pretty much useless. We all got them, and they're only just going to eliminate each other, so I don't know why use it right now. Oh, shoot. I don't have any strength here. I got one garrison unit here with a 1. Reduced infantry. A 6. With no penalties going to some of these. Oh, no, he's got 3. Yeah, I ain't doing nothing. Alright, oh, and a big old attack army there. All the German trained Chinese elite units, I guess. And when you read this about them, they weren't all that elite. They just knew the basics. The Chinese army was basically just a peasant army, and they were really backwards, primitive. If you ever play one of those games where you develop civilizations, you see that technology sometimes comes into the fact, especially during the Prussians when they went against who was their ally, the French. Oh yeah, and they had that breech loader instead of the muzzle loader or whatever it was. Yeah, their little I forgot what that was called, a pin rifle or something like that. But it made all the difference in the world. Technology changed that battle. Prussians took over Paris. Look at that. Alright, now looking at the board. I think I might have made a critical mistake when I chose to move and fight as my operations. As stated before, I think this hex here is the holy grail. You don't want to lose that one. He's pretty well built up. He's got a lot of forces coming in, and there will be a good chance that he'll take that hex, and it'll be a sudden death. So if that happens, it'll be a quick game, but and lesson learned. But yeah, I don't see any attacks I want to make. He's got an attack factor of 2, him maybe a 5. Any attacks across the river, he's only use a 30 or attack factors. Could maybe attack here, but why? What I should have did was pick fight or move or anything. I should have had a movement in there on my first movement. I should have moved these guys. I just sat pat, not thinking of what's going on here. So in the interest of keeping this game going and seeing that now, we'll say I would have chose in my first move, I would have done something like, I had to shift my forces for sure. I probably would have did just something like this. Oops. Still good old hexes, or good old counters. Alright, I probably would have did something like this to beef him up. And maybe even, nah, I wouldn't have did that. Alright, first of all, I gotta see if I can move these guys. So we gotta see what goes on with zones of controls. I don't think zones of controls negate movement, but we shall see. But that's what I would have done. Or if we want to play the game like it would have been without no redos, but I'm just looking at that now and figuring that's what I should have did. So we'll go ahead and keep the game going. Make it more interesting. You don't want to stop it now, so let me make those moves. So the procedure would have been move and move, would have been my pick. And from now on, we'll watch that more closely. But now we need to make the critical rules check. Alright, that zone there pretty well, or that rule 7.1 definitely takes care of it. Zones of control do not extend across the following hex or hex sides. City hexes. So that won't stop any of these guys from moving back and forth. That's what I like to see. So let's look here. Where am I? main thing is going to be to look between those two hexes. What do we got there? We got some water. Let's get him out of the way, make sure we can see the whole thing. Or do we? No, it just goes up in there. Okay, it's railroad movement too, so they will be able to move between those two hexes because their zones of control don't go into there. Okay, that's a good rule. I think that makes sense. It's realistic. You're in a city, you can move between buildings, so in that case, during my first movement, I would have did this. Moved him over. And now my second movement, this one would have been reinforcement phase and the failed Shanghai invasion. But looking here, yeah, I'm on my second movement, so I would have picked move and move. I'm not going to do anything, and we'll hope that garrison holds out. It's a sudden deather. But now, is it worth moving another unit over there? Oh, I gotta check out stacking restrictions. So far, I got 1, 2. I think I'm good. You're allowed 3 divisions. I think it says in a hex. So check out the Japanese stacking restrictions. And I will look under victory conditions because if this is game, I'm giving this one up. I'm reinforce the heck out of this one. So let me check that, and I'll be right back. All right. So it says here, the game turn ends. And Chinese. What it comes down to is 35-12. This one right here. So yeah, it is worth giving this one up and give it over there. Now the other thing is, I can have a sudden victory if I eliminate all these guys around 35-12. So like I said earlier in the earlier video, I can give this one up. So I think I might just go ahead and do this for now and garrison the heck out of that with my second operations, which was movement. No fight. I would have picked move and move. Would have been the smart move. And here, I'll show you what I'm doing here. Now, and we'll call that northern Shanghai. We got a reduced naval infantry at garrison. Garrison's only a 1er. And we move some more forces over here. Because loss of that hex, 35-12, the sudden victory, we'll give that one up. And but now our mission is, as a giant Japanese player for sudden victory, is eliminate him. And we gotta still have this spot here. So I gotta hang on to that spot, but if I lose it now, it'll be alright. Alright, that is the second. Get over here. Oops. Must have been on the right one. Nope. Bear with me. All I gotta do is get one page. Oh, wrong one. 2 pages. Sorry about the zoom and the sick effect. Japanese player. Alright, victory check. No victory check yet. No victory. Sudden victory. So now we're going back to the Chinese first operations phase. And now we gotta make the right decisions here. Fight. Move and move. Move and fight. Or fight and move. Look at the situation. We don't get these big reinforcements till after the first phase, so he is boosted up. Ain't no way we're making an attack on that, I don't think, but we will look and see what goes on. Going around here in the second turn of the battle for Shanghai. We'll be back. Oh, let me turn that off. Alright, before we call this a video, I want to make a couple rule infractions. Number 1, no looking underneath the first top unit. Fog of war rule. So me looking through all these guys was a no. Don't do that from now on. Second thing is, I might be overstacked here. That division per hex rule, I think, is only for Chinese. Japanese, 5 units. Stacking limits. all 4 regiments and 1 infantry division, and 1 garrison and or 1 regiment. Now I'm stuck on this. I gotta look at that either. Important. The 4 Japanese battalion units are considered a division when stacked together. Huh. I have got 1. That's my dog. I just got done playing. He's going great. All right. Oh, 1, 2, 3. Nope. All right. The 4 stacked together. So they're not stacked together because 1 got eliminated. So, Japanese 5 units. So I've got 3 and a garrison. But it says here 1 garrison unit or 1 regiment. So all 4 regiments. Let me look at that real quick. I'll be right back. Yeah, it always helps put the camera down, put the rules in front of you and look at it. So what it is all 4 infantry regiments. There must be 4 regiments equals a division. So I can have a whole division in a hex and a garrison or 1 regiment. So it comes up to about 5 units. Yeah, 4. I'm with you. So these guys are legal. They're legal over there. I only got 3 regiments and a garrison, so there's only 1, 2, 3, 4 units stacked there. So I gotta watch that. It's something to watch. And don't peek underneath the units. We're gonna call this a video and join us some Nanking, Shanghai. I also say Nanking, Shanghai. Maybe I am dyslexic. Nanking just comes naturally to me first, but anyway, the Battle of Shanghai. Be back.